Ladies and gentlemen, today we are going to be doing a level up, abilities, and also gameplay video for the Gentle Giant, aka probably the most underwhelming member of the Guardians of the Galaxy in Marvel Strike Force. So I've watched a little bit of gameplay of this dude, and whenever it comes to raids especially, because that's where we've seen Groot for the last few months, Groot has always been a very, very easy opponent to deal with. Whenever I see Groot in raids, I'm absolutely chuffed because I can recharge all of my character's abilities. It looks like this character is a very, very heavy support character and does somewhat synergize well with the full Guardians of the Galaxy, because it's kind of an additional barrier that you can hide your Rocket Raccoon behind, because there's a very cool interaction between Rocket's second attack and also Groot having Torn, which, you know, creates that additional barrier, especially if you have Drax on the team as well. Maybe some interesting stuff, you know, with a Yondu and Death Proof, you know, summoning more minions and giving them like an additional layer against area of effect attacks. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, let's recruit this character and go ahead and gear him up and have a little bit of a play around and see what we can get up to today. So anyway, we're going to take him up to, I think about level 50. I'm a little bit short on the gold at the moment overall, so I think we might take him up to somewhere about level 40. I think that should be kind of a good middle ground, because as much as I really love Groot, we have the Star-Lord event coming up in a couple of days, and Star-Lord just looks absolutely phenomenal, man. The character looks ridiculously crazy, and I really want to save my gold so that we can pimp out Star-Lord just immediately, because he's just looking so incredibly damn fine with that blind. So yeah, really buzzing for Star-Lord. But I want to check Groot out a little bit as well, but from a lot of the people that I've heard that have already unlocked Groot, a lot of people are struggling to fit him into the majority of their teams at the moment, because he does have some really good stuff with Death Proof, which we're going to talk about in a second. But I think Groot is one of those characters that can be, in a lot of scenarios, maybe described as somewhat of a self-fulfilling prophecy. So, you know, Death Proof is only good if your characters get close to death. And, you know, the ideal scenario is you want to finish the fight before your character's about to be killed. So if you have Groot taking up a space, then, you know, maybe he's not necessarily going to be the best and most powerful character to use there. But anyway, we're going to get him at least up to some blue tier gear here, and let's upgrade some more of his abilities, and we'll see exactly what they're doing. Right, let's upgrade that one more time. Got plenty of those blue ability materials. And there we go. So his very first attack is just incredibly basic. Attack primary target for 220% damage. No additional effects on this one. I think this is something that Groot really needs as kind of a support character. If he had something like offense down on here, I think it will kind of move the character up a little bit. And then we have the second ability, which is gain Death Proof and apply Death Proof to the 2 to 3 lowest health allies. But as you upgrade this to level 6, you can actually apply Death Proof to all lowest health allies, or it should just say all allies there. But yeah, this becomes you know, the more valuable, the bigger your team is. So if you have summon characters like Yondu, you could potentially protect some of those summoned minions from like getting one shot by a really big area of effect. Say, you know, just you know, talking in hypotheticals here, like the final raid Thanos, the level 60 boss that we have at the moment, that's for another week and a bit. This might be maybe quite useful for sustaining through those big, heavy hitting area of effects. So I think, you know, there are going to be some matchups and some scenarios, and I think with a full Guardians of the Galaxy team, there's maybe some really interesting stuff that could occur there. So yeah, I'm really excited to hopefully get all the full Guardians like geared up over the next week or so, and then the last couple of days like take the full Guardians team against Thanos, because I think that'd be a really cool little matchup there. And I think toward the end, Groot with that Death Proof could be quite valuable there. And next up we have Groot's heal. So you can see at level 4 at the moment, it's heal all lowest health allies for 900 health plus 3% of this character's maximum health, and 30% chance to clear negative effects from all allies. But as you upgrade this, the heal doesn't really go up too much. You know, this is a very, if we compare this to somebody like Night Nurse's heal, which is healing, you know, just over 20,000, it's just so really underwhelming, comparatively speaking, in terms and that really big heal there. So, yeah, not too much exciting going on there. And then finally, we have the I Am Groot, which is his passive ability, which is on death, 10% chance to revive with 10% of this character's max health, plus a 50% chance to apply defense up on all allies. On death, death-proof Rocket Raccoon if ally. So a good layer, again, of additional support to Rocket Raccoon there. And as you further upgrade this character, he's always going to apply defense up to all allies and gets a plus chance to revive. But I think the chance to revive mechanic isn't really one that you bring to a lot of matchups just because it's such a low chance and it's not very reliable at all. You know, having a 15% chance to revive is quite low, but the death proof on Rocket Raccoon is very, very nice. And the defense up on all allies, especially if paired with Rocket and he's got Taunt, and that's being given to all of the other Guardians. If it's for one turn, you know, it can go quite quickly. It would be nice to see this for 2 turns. I think it would be a little bit stronger then. But yeah, bit of an interesting one, this Groot lad here. But overall, I think the common theme is like none of his abilities are really that crazy, that great, apart from Overgrowth. So I think if he had a little bit more healing and maybe some support thing on his you know, first attack, I think he'd be a substantially better character, you know, comparatively speaking. But here we have our Groot at 5,000 power level, and I want to check out his animations, man, because I've played a little bit of Groot, you know, in various missions where he's been given to us, but not too much overall. So I think what we'll do here is, can we go into Rocket's Red Glare? I think we've already done it for today, so I think we'll go ahead and go to a little bit of the campaign here. Can we assemble a mostly Guardians team? And let's look who exactly we'd like to take on today. So I think we'll go for the Night Nurse mission here, and maybe bring in Groot, Rocket, and Drax, and see how this team turns out. So we're going to get our Drax, our Rocket Raccoon, and let's also scroll down and bring Groot as well. And hopefully this should be a fairly little interesting combo here to try out this team. I think Rocket Raccoon is, you know, he's going to do pretty much all of the heavy lifting here. Oh, and we also have to protect as well. So this is actually fantastic for that, because we have free tanks here with the Captain America as well. So anyway, let's jump in, put that area of effect up, just start dealing out that damage as much as we possibly can here. So Drax has the taunt, so that's why I'm saving Rocket's second one for the next wave, especially if it's protect. And also, when it comes to these missions, death proof on all allies is going to be quite good for the escort ones as well. Unfortunately, we haven't got it fully upgraded yet, and I'm not super inclined yet to use the ability materials. I don't know, I might do, but yeah, I want to make sure I can take Star-Lord up. So that's the main reservation at the moment for chucking in ability materials. But anyway, let's fire off the area of effect on Rocket Raccoon again. And Captain America has got his taunt on. So next turn, I think we could just use Rocket Raccoon's ultimate and actually get everybody down there. So let's go ahead and just attack in. And we can use Groot's heal as well. Oh, we got the bleed. Let's go for the heal and see how much this is going for here. So 1,300 there. So even on a Night Nurse around that similar power level, you know, that heal would have probably been on the ultimate for, gosh, I would imagine about 5 to 10,000 maybe. But again, I guess Night Nurse gets a lot of the value from her fully upgraded area of effect heal ability. So yeah, 1,300 and only a 30% chance to clear negative effects. To a certain extent is just underwhelming, ladies and gentlemen. That is exactly the way of saying it. So anyway, let's have a look at a bit of another match there, because I feel like we breezed through that one. So should we go for this final one here? Do we need to fight Ultimus's forces for the control of the third key? You know what, we'll jump into this one and see how we get on here. So let's get rid of Quake, let's get rid of Captain America, and is there anybody else that we'd like to bring for additional support? Let's just give it a go, man. We got Drax, we got Rocket Raccoon, we got Groot. Let's also go in slow motion as well so we can see these wonderful Groot animations to their full extent here. Okay, we're going to smash that one. Oh, we got to protect 4 here. Okay. So, I don't want to use the taunt yet on Groot, because I want to save that for the second turn. So let's smash in here on the Kree Noble and deal damage to allies there. Let's use Thor's hammer and throw that one across. Should apply death proof to Thor there, which is a nice little safety buffer. I mean, if there is a lot of single target, I see Groot being really, really valuable for very, very specific fights and matchups. So I don't think the character is going to be completely, like, rubbish and completely useless. But I don't know, man. I may be a little bit wrong about that, but I see him having a bit of an interesting use, especially when it comes to, you know, when you've just got Thanos left in this month's event quest. But there we go. He's down already, ladies and gentlemen. But again, he wasn't really beefed up and isn't anywhere near geared in comparison to our Rocket and Drax there. So let's fire off the ultimate AoE effect and bombard in there a little bit. But, yeah, I think just in terms of gameplay, man, there isn't too much that is, like, really exciting when it comes to Groot, if I'm perfectly honest. I feel like he just goes in to die and be a little bit of a meat shield and slow the fight down a little bit. So yeah, bit of an interesting one, but I'm very curious, ladies and gentlemen, like, what are your thoughts on Groot? I'm very curious to know if you've already unlocked the character, what have you been using him for? Again, I think one scenario where he might have some use, which I'm very keen to try out, is that final Thanos fight in the level 60 raids at the moment, and I think there might be similar kind of big bosses where a team-wide death proof, along with like bouncing taunts, may be a really, really valuable asset to bring to those bosses if they're, you know, restricted to single target, and you can add in additional characters like Yondu, maybe instead of a Gamora in terms of the team setup, or Rocket Raccoon, depending on, you know, exactly what's going on. So yeah, I don't know, I think he's gonna have some uses, but I think he is a very, very niche character for the wider majority of the game, and I think when it comes to, you know, general raid clearing, like arena blitz, I think he's definitely going to be toward the bottom. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Apart from that, thank you very much for watching, take care, and have an absolutely fantastic day.